Hello, hello. Um, this has been one of my favorite cool pattern drawings, I think, over the last couple of weeks. It's very, very easy to do. Follow these steps. It's just simple. So you're drawing a square. You're going to divide this square into 3 columns and into 3. Well, you can rotate the page like that and just draw another 3 columns. And then it will look like it gives you a grid of 9. Now, with this particular drawing, it's the result is much more precise looking and much more symmetrical if you can get these boxes all the same size. Now, if it feels better for you, use a ruler, but definitely try to keep these lines as straight as possible. So I'm drawing 2 parallel lines in each box now, and the way I kind of line it up is just imagine that you're drawing a straight line through, but you're missing the box on the left and right, and then just add those lines into the boxes as you see them. The end result after this step will look like you have 2 parallel lines going through each box, and each box will need to look the same. So however you see it fit, you add the lines to the boxes. But the more accurate they are, the more easily it's going to line up in the next step that we're going to do. So as you can see, those are relatively straight. That kind of helps. If you want to use a ruler, use a ruler. If not, then yeah, I'm not using one. So let's see how it turns out. Now tilt your page, and then what we're doing is drawing 2 parallel lines again, but we're drawing them behind the existing 2 lines that we had in the other direction. So just like so, go behind there, and then you tuck the line behind. The only difference is now you have a kind of starting point for your lines. You can see that they kind of need to meet up with the one in the previous box. I think this makes it easier. As you can see, you have some like a guide to go off, and this should all line up very nicely. And turn your page, whatever's the most comfortable for you to draw. I like to draw the lines going straight down, so I just rotate my page over and over again. But if you're okay with drawing on angles, then that's fine. Keep going and complete every single box with the 2 parallel lines behind the existing ones, just like so. I find that I really need to focus on each box at a time, because when I start looking at the image as a whole, it starts kind of confusing me when I start seeing the illusion. But here is the illusion completed. It kind of looks like a mesh weave, I guess you could call it. And so this is the basic sort of template that we're going to work with now. And I'm just going to color in all of the little triangles that will look like the background. So I've just used a texter here to save a little bit of time, but alternatively you could just use your pencil or your pen or whatever it is that you're using, and I just like to really make those lines nice and crisp and straight by using a fine line pen. As you can see, it makes a big difference. The reason why I don't go to the edge with the texter though is because you can't really control the bleed. So if you do go really close to the edge with your texter, a lot of the time the texter bleeds beyond the line, and then it's too hard to fix up. So I just do the bulk of the space that needs to be colored, and then I just outline it with a fine tip. Go ahead and color in all of those triangles that are along the borderline as well, because what we'll be doing after this is we'll be straightening up that borderline as well. You can kind of see whether your lines are straight or not at this point, and you can use your fine tip to straighten up the lines. You can make them slightly thicker if you need to, just to make this illusion thicken up the borderline now. And as you can see, there are some little waves and little imperfections that I like to just go over with a fine tip, thicken up the lines in specific areas to really straighten up the line and make it look quite nice and crispy. An important part now, once you've got the background and the border done, is to really have a look. If you'd like to perfect those lines in between, you can just go ahead and thicken up each one of those parallel lines that we initially drew. If you see that they have a little wave through them, as that one did, if you just go over it a few times and just move like half a little millimeter across, it makes the line look a little thicker, and you can actually smooth over the imperfections, any wobbly bits, and to make it look like a nice crisp edge. The last step I like to add is a really nice fine line edge, would you call it? Or would you call it a echo line? Not sure what the terminology is here, but I would just like to say that I'm adding a little bit of interest to what already looks like a very cool mesh weave. I'm just going to add a slight little bit of tone here. It's not going to make too much of a dramatic difference, but it does show that you can add a little bit of dimension here if you do simply shade along those lines where it looks like the weave is going behind the mesh outline in front, which looks pretty cool. I'm sure if you colored it in a little darker, it would look even better. But this was just an example, as I did this on a live, and I was giving an example to the people that I was doing this tutorial with at the time. Overall, I think it was a pretty big success. What do you guys think? Definitely give this one a go. It is super, super fun to do. It's super simple. Let me know how you go. See ya.